podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome people to episode 362 of Film Bastards. I am one of your co-hosts, Mark Foster, and as ever, I am joined by...
I want some spice. Let's have that fucking spice. Ian Loring, hello.
Spicy boy himself there, and Rebecca will be joining us, but she's not joined us quite yet. I am literally drawing a shape of Rebecca next to me, which is just boobs and butt. So it's terrible. It pushes this video. But yeah, she's waiting for a dog to be delivered. Not a new dog. Our existing dog is getting dropped back off with us after a haircut, I believe. So yes, she will be joining us for chatting. What are we chatting? We're chatting Mulan. And we're chatting, I'm thinking of ending things.
Great.
Never before has done a more apt title for a film.
Great.
Yeah, fantastic.
Great.
Fucking hell. That's going to be a fun review. We've also got a little bit of what we've been watching. Me and Ian will, at some point, I'm sure, talk about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, because why not?
Sure, yeah.
And there've been a few trailers. There's actually been a few trailers. We're going to try and not talk about the fucking carnage that is the 2020, where apparently Donald Trump is being nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
You got to roll with the punches now. There's no point fucking like focusing on this shit too much. I've very, very much decided it just let it roll. Do you know? Yeah. I took the dog out for a walk this morning. And I saw a rabbit in exactly the same fucking place that it was yesterday. It's all a simulation. Just let it flow over you.
Oh, it is. Literally, the entire of 2020 is a fucking onion gag. It just is now.
Yeah.
It got it mixed up somewhere. Something along the line got the code wrong, and it's just that. I am fucking telling you, at Christmas, it will be announced that Santa is real, has been real all along, but he's dead.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
There'll be no more Christmases.
Yeah, absolutely. November, Guy Fawkes' zombie will return from the grave, try to blow up the Houses of Parliament, but then actually decide that he quite likes the Houses of Parliament because they're doing things that he quite likes, and he's going to hang around just in the rafters of the House of Commons, just jeering along with everybody, ignoring social distancing because he's dead and he can't catch anything. Because what's it going to do to him? That's going to be November. What's going to happen in October? In October, Tony Todd is literally going to turn into the Candyman and murder multiple people.
At his granddaughter's birthday party.
Yep, absolutely. He's going to unleash the bees. And
someone's just going to smack a pinata, and he's just going to just stand up and go, "Sweet's my sweet, you are all my victims." And everyone's going to think, "Oh, Tony," and then they're going to be slashed.
Absolutely. I'm fully expecting by this time next week to say that I'm not going to be able to come to York because I'm going to be in fucking lockdown until October. So I'm really looking forward to being able to confirm that news.
I'm for the first time since we booked it 5 months ago when we were like, we'll be out of lockdown by then, and we've been out of lockdown. And for the first time, I'm thinking, am I going on holiday in 2 weeks?
Fuck, mate. Like, I'm not going to be able to go to the Cineworld because I can't use that as an excuse to go leave the fucking borough. That's what's going to happen.
It's mental for you. If your Cineworld was in your borough, you'd still be able to go, wouldn't you?
I can go to the showcase. But I don't particularly want to pay £7. Literally, if I'm put into so for context, the borough next to us, Caerphilly, has been put into lockdown. The borough to the other side kind of looks like it's going to happen there. So we're probably fucked in the next couple of weeks. So I can travel around in the borough. I can go to the showcase because even though we're in lockdown, I should still be able to go to the cinema, it seems, which is something at least. But yeah, that's where we're at the moment. Not fucking depressed about that at all.
Nope.
letting it fly over me. It's all a simulation. If someone could just open up Task Manager and kill this fucking program now, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah. Somebody is literally there just going, it's still not responding. I'm just getting that spinning wheel thing. Going, oh God,
that is what 2020 is. It's the spinning wheel of simulations where you can't force quit it because the mouse won't click on the button.
Yep, it is. It's like you're there holding a mouse, going. But I can't. What do you mean it's not connected? It is connected.
But I tell you what, we did some Tony Hawk streaming the other day, but no, we didn't, because fucking dickhead here forgot to check that it was streaming again when I did all that add remove party shit. Because the amazing Tony Hawk remaster has the weirdest fucking bug where you can't have an in-game party unless both people / all people test their internet connections on the PlayStation software.
Yeah, and honestly, for anyone listening who isn't into like online gaming or anything like that, right? You might be thinking, oh, is that something you have to just do to make sure? No, literally, it has nothing to do with online gaming
at all. You have to get out of the game and then go into the PlayStation system settings, select test internet connection. So obviously it did that, fucking stopped the stream, and I didn't realise. So the stream is 3 minutes of me basically going, right, what the fuck am I doing here then? Right, let's, just me fucking mumbling to myself like a prick.
But what I will say there is, we had a blast for an hour and 20 minutes.
That game slaps.
Yeah.
That's a good game.
We will be doing it again where people will be able to see it, but we had an awful lot of fun falling and then thinking we were terrible at the game and then realising that no, we weren't actually quite that bad.
We got better.
I've made my own guy on it.
Oh, have you? You created your own skater? Nice.
Created my own skater, yeah.
Nice.
I was skating and I turned around to Becky and I was just about to say, I've created my own skater on here, and she went, why are you skating as a hobo? It's like, yeah.
That's I mean, unfortunately, people miss the majesty of the milkman.
Milkman.
What was his name? UHT 1111 or something. Yeah. Oh wow, and for more video game chat, if people are interested, we basically just talked about the Xbox announcement in the Patreon content. So look forward to that. I have a vision for the Patreon content basically just being the getting all the other shit that we want to talk about talked about.
Yeah. So if you like a movie podcast where you pay extra for days to talk about everything but movies.
Absolutely. And the 14 patrons that we got at the moment, bless you all, love you all. Absolutely. Yeah.
Really hope that you enjoyed the all of the Nolan stuff that we did. We've got stuff planned to come up shortly, but we are having a basic couple of weeks off the Patreon, just mainly because we did like 14 hours recording in 7 days.
Yeah, we need to chill, and in all honesty, like, mental health is an interesting fucking thing, and yes. I feel like I need to be in the frame of mind for it myself. I think Mark is maybe more loosey-goosey, but that's absolutely brilliant. I fucking love how chill and understanding Mark is with all this shit. Me, like, thought the worst of all the lockdown stuff was over, and then suddenly thousands of people getting fucking infected again. All this shit happening. Like, I'm literally just counting the days until I'm fucking locked down again. Like, so I don't feel like I'm at my best on the Patreon having to do work, like almost like homework before recording a commentary at the moment. So, we will get there. The world will return, even though apparently now Chris Whitty's saying, yeah, it won't be a vaccine till next year. But then Johnson's saying, well, we hope things will be more back to normal by Christmas. Nah. By Christmas, you're not going to be able to see your fucking family. Everyone's going to just have to have Christmas dinner in their own houses on Zooming family.
Oh God, can you imagine that? Can you imagine how busy Zoom's going to be on Christmas Day?
Mate, the internet's going to fuck. That's the thing. The internet's going to crash, and then it's just going to be everybody sat at home having a Christmas like it was 20 years ago, but with no extended family.
Yeah, it's gonna be Christmas. It's gonna be Christmas 1985.
I tell you what, right? Buy your fucking shares in InBev now, because those motherfuckers are gonna have a hell of a few months. I mean, they've already had a hell of a year, but Christ alive.
Well, so I'm recording because, like I said, Becky's downstairs waiting to have the dog drop back off. So I'm upstairs in my office, and in my office, I have the few remaining Blu-rays that I have, which is a few hundred, I'll be honest.
Is Mother there?
Pardon?
Is Mother there?
It is, yeah. And so is Carol. And in front of me, I have...
Carol. Sorry.
I have all of my steelbooks. And I just realised I have a package. It's still in its wrapper. It's never been opened. Grindhouse steelbook that I didn't even know I had.
Oh shit! Really? Nice.
Yeah, and it's sealed. But what's weird is I also have the full collection Grindhouse that's not the steelbook, and I also on Blu-ray still have Planet Terror and Death Proof. So I actually have 4 copies.
That's pretty impressive.
Of them, not to mention the fact that I also have them in the Tarantino collection as well. That's
pretty fucking funny, but fair
play. I will continue this, I also have both Planet Terror and Death Proof on UK DVD and US DVD, because they came out on the US on DVD about 4 or 5 months before they came out in the UK, and I bought them on import.
Wow, that's impressive. That reminds me, so as I was saying on the Patreon stuff, sold my Xbox, so I don't have a physical 4K player anymore, which is fine, because I'm not entirely sure how fucking long physical 4K is going to fucking live for anyway. It's all good. I just need to get out of that. But with you getting a PlayStation 5, I do have a 4K I want to send you, and it is a steelbook. As a little makeup for buying you Carol and Mother. So I'm gonna do that at some point, and you guys are you're both gonna be very happy.
I very much look forward to that. Any movie news that we've had this week then? There's the Oscars thing. What can you?
That's interesting, isn't it?
It's weird, isn't it?
So let's get the detail on that. And also, by the way, if people can't tell, I've just had a double IPA. I've had a 440 milliliter can of an 8% salt ECAT DDH IPA. I'm now on Punk because I like Brewdog ones, and I'm sorry, Noel. So I am getting pretty drunk. You see, we're trying a new thing tonight. We started recording at 5 o'clock, so my whole thing is I can get drunk during the recording, then sober up a bit, then go to bed, have a really fucking good night's sleep because I'm like, or at least pass out because I'm still a little bit drunk, and be all right in the morning. I'm testing that out, so let's see how that goes.
Strong theory.
Yeah, I like it. Let's see. It's that dodgeball meme of what is it that Jason Bateman says? It's strong. Something or other. Let's see if it pays off.
Yeah, I know which one you mean. I can't remember what it says exactly. Shit, I need to find that out now.
It's
a bold strategy.
Yeah.
Or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. And I'm going to be up at 6 tomorrow morning to walk the dog, getting the 7:05 train into work. Because also, slight tangent before we get into the academy, and this probably should be Patreon content. Fuck you, Transport for Wales. You lot are cunts. Why is that? Well, let's see. Monday, the day when schools are back. More people are being told to return to work to save Pret. I'm on the train. The trains are down to 2 an hour from my station. Pre-lockdown, they were 6 an hour. Get on the
30%.
train. Yeah. So a third of the trains, brilliant. 4 carriages, which is brilliant because a lot of the time they're 2-carriage wonder buses. But no, 4 carriages, so fair play. The trains all through lockdown, when I have gone into the office, and I've been into the office a fair few times. I go in twice a week. A lot of the seats have had the coverings on saying keep seat free.
Yeah.
Because of social distancing. Fair enough. Monday, they're all gone. So you had a bunch of fucking randoms sat next, obviously randoms because people weren't talking to each other, they're just on their phones and whatnot. Quite a few people having their wearing their masks on their fucking chins, so if anybody did come through, they could just quickly put it on.
Yeah. The mask that doesn't cover your nose.
Yeah. Tweeted Transport for Wales, and they were just basically in line, we still ask people to practice social distancing. Yes, because asking people to do things is the way forward. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, of course. And I was just like, that's fucking ridiculous. You've got more people on these trains today. You haven't put more trains on. What the fuck? And then they basically tweeted back saying, we're following government guidelines. And they obviously mean UK government, not fucking Welsh government, by the way. With the following government guidelines. And as more people are now going on trains, we are essentially increasing the number of seats. Yeah, fuck it. That's fucking brilliant. So, literally, on Friday, don't fucking sit on these seats at all. Monday, yeah, go ahead, mate. Any fucking old person. No I haven't seen one conductor since lockdown, which I 100% understand. That's a risk to the conductor. That's not a criticism of that. But British Transport Police, I haven't seen at all. They say British Transport Police are on the routes. I've seen security, in quote marks. Fuck knows what that is. It could literally be nice people getting dressed in security costumes and pretending to be security so they can help people by enforcing these things. I don't know.
I have a different opinion on that. They are security are usually members of security employed by Serco at an extortionate amount of money.
Okay, no, yeah, okay, fair enough then. It's so, to be fair, I was on the train last Friday and there was someone without a mask, and they the security person really fucking nailed into them and made them get off at the next station. And it was like, do you know what? Fair enough. They obviously didn't have a good reason for not having a mask. If you have a good reason for not having a mask, fair enough. Say so. This person obviously didn't, and I don't have a problem with that at all. And I'm not a person who looks at every single person not wearing a mask and goes, tisk. There may well be a reason, but there wasn't a reason for that many fucking people when everybody was wearing a mask the week before. I'll fucking tell you that for free.
What I can say is, obviously I see within my job hundreds of people every day.
Yeah.
And I would say that although social distancing has pretty much gone out the fucking window, I'm not gonna lie. But I will still say that I would say it's 90 to 95% of people are wearing their mask, which I'm still quite. It's hard for me ever so slightly.
So this is the thing, right? On Twitter, I'm looking at the Transport for Wales thing, and there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, do we not have to socially distance on trains anymore? What is going on?" I tweeted my fucking MP, and bless whoever's running their social media account, within about 20 minutes said, "Okay, that actually sounds really concerning. Can you please email at?" And I have. And it's just honestly, it was the first time I've been going back into the office for a good couple of months now. First time I felt anxious. But the thing is, after next week, I'm moving to another role where I've been told I'll probably be home working for the foreseeable. Literally, there are zero plans. and I feel better about that. And I've been very, on this podcast, I've been very, let's go out, like, we've got to get things moving again. And yes, we have to get things moving again, but in a fucking sensible bloody way.
Yeah.
Not on a Friday, all this shit is there. On a Monday, it's gone.
Yeah. I go out. I freely admit that I go out. But I don't go anywhere indoors. I go outside, where I can really socially distance very, very well. And I'm fine with being able to social distance like that. That's cool for me.
I'm much more nervy than I was a week ago. I
will be going out less, I would say.
Yeah. Even though we're being told, like, go out there, you're being told go out there and socialise. I mean, like, right? So Caerphilly, I'm almost done. Caerphilly, like, you can still go to pubs and restaurants. I like it's, and they're saying it's because the evidence is pointing to it being transmission when people are meeting up, like, in houses and whatnot. And it's the thing is, I do trust the Welsh government. They were further behind on relaxing all this stuff. So, do you know what? Fair enough, but it makes me feel so uncomfortable that they're saying you can't meet up with people indoors, even if you socially distance the fuck out of it. But if you went to a pub and shouted over to the next table and it was the same people, that would be fine.
Yeah. A friend of mine, his parents have a pub. It's just outside Manchester, the other side of to where Noel is. His parents have a pub. He can't go and see them at home, but can go and see them in the pub, and it is the same building. It's exactly the same building.
Sorry. I mean, that's fucking something else, eh?
Yep. It's mental, isn't it? Oscars.
Anyway, yeah, no, and thank you for I obviously I had to get that out there. I find this show incredibly therapeutic, and that is self-indulgent. And to those who listen, thank you very much. Might be why our listener count is what it is. But believe me when I say I'm grateful to everybody who listens, and I'm grateful to yourself and Becky for putting up with my my ramblings.
I love doing this show. I that's same as you. I'm very grateful that people listen and recommend your friends. Please do so and spread the word and get it out there. But I'd do it if it was just two people listening.
Bless. Yeah. Same. It's a fair point. And the dogs come in. Yes, you, my little beauty Kiki, who has basically saved me during lockdown. Yes, you have. Go right. Okay. Oscars. So they have said that the new standards apply only to Best Picture and do not affect other categories. However, films in the speciality categories of animated feature, documentary feature, international feature film that are also submitted for Best Picture general entry consideration will thus be addressed separately. That's interesting. Right, so here are the specific standards announced. Standard A, on-screen representation, themes and narratives. To achieve Standard A, the film must meet one of the following criteria. At least one of the lead actors or significant supporting actors is from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group. Or at least 30% of all actors in secondary and more minor roles are from at least two of the following. Whoa. Apologies. Yes, Kiki. What have you got something to say about at least 30% of all actors in secondary and more minor roles being at least from?
Are you breeding a white dog?
Oh, don't say that. All right, let's test this out. So, Kiki, at least 30% of all actors in secondary and more minor roles from at least two of the following underrepresented groups: women, racial or ethnic group, LGBTQ+, or people with cognitive or physical disabilities or who are deaf or hard of hearing.
That's the one that gets me there. Deaf or hard of hearing. Well, I'm hard of hearing. I'm also a heterosexual white male.
Yeah, but you're hard of hearing.
Yeah, but they could literally just go. You're gonna get loads of what is it when they nominate something and go, hang on a minute, that doesn't tick all that, and go, Matt Damon's got a bum ear. Loads of fucking what is it? I'm gonna turn up on awards things and just gonna pop in a hearing aid and go, bum ear.
Or the main storyline female narrative of the film is centered on an underrepresented group, the groups I just mentioned.
Bum ears. Just a lot of what in movies now.
I mean, well, quite. I mean, you'd feel like if main storyline subject matter was achieved, then general ensemble cast would be achieved because it's the same. But at least one of the lead actors or significant supporting actors is, so it's Asian, Hispanic, Latinx, Black, African American, Indigenous, Native American, Alaskan Native, Middle Eastern, North African. Apologies for the noise. Kiki's going mad at a shoe. Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander or other underrepresented race or ethnicity. So that's interesting. You know, it's I'll be. And just like basically any historical epic which is all about white men could not be considered for Best Picture, and that's fine. I think that's really fucking interesting. But man, they are opening
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great. I think they're opening themselves up to all sorts of fucking abuse.
I saw somebody comment on this and said, oh, I cannot wait for all of the fucking articles of 10 Best Picture winners that wouldn't be eligible nowadays.
Yeah, no, totally. And I mean, it's definitely, it's that progressive thing. And you would like to think that no film seriously being considered for Best Picture would have this. But, oh, to be fair, fuck it. Hang on. Oh, so did I say women as part of general ensemble cast or main storyline?
No, you said.
No, I'm so sorry. It was like the
general ensemble cast. You did.
The deadline formatting is really weird, where it's like a main bullet point is women, and there's sub bullet points, and I'm so sorry. I read the sub bullet points. So it's like, okay, so basically, if one of your lead characters is a woman, you're fine.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem that fucking hard.
No, so let's have a quick. Let's just indulge a little bit, because the technical awards bits of it, I think, is slightly different, because I think that's easier to pick up on, because they've grouped in things like cinematographers and things like that, but they've grouped in like costume designers and things like that. So there is more of a spread of that, but we still do need to get more Black and ethnic minorities into the behind the scenes things of cinema. Absolutely. So I don't want to get accused of saying that we shouldn't do that. Best Picture winners. Let's just have a quick look at the past few years' Best Picture winners and see if any of them wouldn't have qualified. Have a fucking look. So, Parasite would have been fine.
Yep.
Green Book would have been fine.
Yep.
Shape of Water would have been fine.
Yep.
Moonlight, fine. Spotlight. Yeah.
Hang on. So on Shape of Water, are we talking Octavia Spencer?
Well, you've also got what's her name? Is the main character woman? It's a woman with a female.
Oh, she's deaf. She's deaf.
And she's deaf.
Sorry.
Bum here.
Of course she is.
Bum here.
And she's a woman. There you go.
A deaf bum ear woman who, let's face it, fucks a manfish. I think you can call that an underrepresented group.
Yeah. What, manfish?
Moonlight, fine. Spotlight, that's a, what is it? Rachel McAdams?
Yeah, I mean, she's a significant supporting character.
Yeah. Birdman, probably fine there. You've got significant supporting female characters. You know, I think Emma Stone got nominated for an Academy Award.
No, hang on. Go back to Spotlight. Lead or significant supporting actor. Women is not included there. Sorry.
Oh.
Fucking hell. But general ensemble cast at least 30%, as long as it's 30% women or like the minority.
I don't think Spotlight qualifies.
Okay, so all right. So must meet one. Main storyline.
I don't think Spotlight qualifies there. I think Birdman qualifies.
Okay, so you've got. The thing is, Birdman's got a really large ensemble cast.
Yeah. I think Birdman maybe squeezes through.
Yeah.
Remember as well, you've got a Latino director as well.
Spotlight's fucking in. Yeah, but that's creative leadership and project team. That's not. So Spotlight, fucking hell. I think you're right, man.
I don't think it qualifies.
Because I like it. It's a bunch of white men, but then it's like the storyline subject matter. It's almost like they needed to have something in there that was like important social issue, something like that. Because, Spotlight. If you were to say Spotlight is like not a progressive film or something, but it's about a bunch of journalists uncovering.
Yeah.
It's a bit. That's a bit harsh.
Yeah.
Okay.
12 Years a Slave, I think, qualifies.
Oh,
obviously.
Yep.
Argo.
Argo, fuck yourself. All right.
Argo, fuck yourself. I don't think that qualifies.
So they have to meet all these standards, yeah?
Is it all of them, or is it just one of the following criteria?
But it's one of the following criteria of each standard, is it not?
No, it's one of the following criteria. At least one. I think it literally is one of those. I think it is one of those, not one from each.
Hang on. So this is deadline. Having at least one Asian, Hispanic, Latinx, Black, African American, Indigenous, Native American, Alaskan Native, Middle Eastern, North American, Native Hawaiian, or other Pacific Islander or unspecified other underrepresented race or ethnicity as a lead or significant supporting actor is a potential requirement under the new guidelines for those ethnicities also mentioned for prominent production and marketing jobs. Additionally, employing women, LGBTQ+, members of a racial or ethnic group, and people with cognitive or physical disabilities or deaf or hard of hearing might be required for at least 30% of actors as secondary and more minor roles. And it goes on from there. So when it says might, what the fuck does that mean then?
It means that this might not even come to play. 2024, I believe.
Oh, no. Here we go. A film must at least meet at least two of the four standards to be Best Picture material.
Right.
So let's go on to the other standards then. Standard B, creative leadership and project team. To achieve standard B, the film must meet one of the criteria below. Creative leadership and department heads. At least two of the following creative leadership positions and department heads. Casting director, cinematographer, composer, costume designer, director, editor, hairstylist, makeup artist, producer, production designer, set decorator, sound VFX, supervisor, writer from the following underrepresented groups: women, racial ethnic group, LGBTQ+, people with cognitive or physical disabilities or a deaf or hard of hearing. At least one of those positions must belong to the following underrepresented racial or ethnic group, and it's the groups I mentioned earlier on. Other key roles, at least 6 other crew team technical positions from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group. These positions include, but are not limited to, first AD, gaffer, script supervisor, etc. At least 30% of the film's crew is from the following underrepresented groups: women, and the list from earlier on. Standard C, I'm not going to read this whole thing. Industry access and opportunities. The film's distribution or financing company has paid apprenticeships or internships that are from the following underrepresented groups. Blah, blah, blah.
You see, the cynic in me literally thinks, do you know what? your heart might be in the right place here, Academy, but the cynic in me looks at it and goes, from a business level, you're going to get them going round. You're going to get the crew going round. Somebody's going around going, right, you, there. Today, you've got a bum ear. You might like dudes as well as women. And you've got a bum ear as well. And you have a bum ear and you might like men and women. And you don't like anyone and you've got no tongue. And it's basically going to be like that.
It's also, to be fair, standard D audience development representation in marketing, publicity, and distribution. So, I mean, fair play. The Academy really are actually setting an incredibly fucking low bar for entry here.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's basically, look, as long as you're a fucking workplace that doesn't discriminate against race or sexual preference, you'll probably meet two of these standards just because you'll have enough below the line people who will fit this bill.
Yeah. As long as Brett Ratner doesn't work for you right now, you're okay.
Yeah, I suppose the question is...
And if Brett Ratner does, you have to employ at least 2 women to his 1 person. But don't put him in the same fucking room as them.
I know, but I mean, it's like, what, you know, Oscars So White was a massive thing. Is it really going to be changed if you give paid internships to women, racial ethnic groups, LGBTQ, hard of hearing, cognitive, physical disabilities, and give training opportunities and skill development to much of the same group, and give marketing, publicity, or distribution jobs to much the same group as well?
Yeah.
That's like, I mean, it's brilliant that the below the line people, you know, it kind of seems like they might be focused on that because it might be just easier to quantify it, rather than actually saying, no, do you know what? To be considered for Best Picture for the next 2 years, you've got to fucking have a woman in the lead, or if you're going to be all male, you've got to have 30% of the secondary cast be black, LGBTQ, etc.
The thing is, it seems a little bit like, have you heard of the Rooney Rule for NFL? Mm-hmm. It seemed a little bit like a version of that for movies.
I mean, it's the fact that it's such an incredibly low bar to pass.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it's interesting because I've only really read up on it now, and I'm glad we have. Because on Twitter, people were just like, oh, well, I wonder which of the last Best Pictures would have, the Best Pictures would have been, would have got this. To be fair, so much of it is below the line that it would be, unless it was like an indie film made by a very small crew. I mean, I don't know, I'm throwing it out there, maybe some Woody Allen films. Yeah. Like, just come to mind. You know, they'd have representation of women on screen, but would the crew necessarily fit those other dynamics? I don't know. So it's baby steps, and in the end of the day, with the society we have at the moment, I think at least there's baby steps instead of taking a massive fucking step, having people fucking pile on, and then you just completely retract.
It's a step in the right direction. It will be interesting to see the direction that it takes.
Yeah, I hope the Academy doesn't go, fucking look at us, look at what we are doing with this. You know, let's continue supporting us because we are doing things.
Yes,
you know,
it's our big new fancy state-of-the-art museum, essentially.
Yeah, no, exactly. You know, it doesn't necessarily feel like that, but in terms, for all the shit that 2020 has brung, this does not necessarily feel like it is shit.
Yeah, I think we can be all right with this. Trailers. We'll talk a little bit more during the seconds. I think Becky has just watched the trailer now, which I think I've
no time to die, motherfuckers! Let's go!
After literally spending weeks bitching and moaning about the fact that there's been no time to die trailer.
November.
You're very much looking forward to this, aren't you?
Mate, that's a busy trailer.
It is a very busy trailer, isn't it? It looks like it was made really fucking quickly.
I've got a feeling my father-in-law is downstairs having just dropped Lottie off, and he's probably wondering what the hell's going on.
Mate, seriously, there's so much going on in this trailer. There's so much intrigue. I know Bond's not necessarily your bag. The thought of the last Daniel Craig film being 2.5 hours long is boner-inducing, of the sweetest kind of boner-inducing that I Let's go.
It's the whole, this will never be the same again after this. And it's like, right, but will it though? Because...
It won't, because Henry Golding is going to be the next Bond.
I'd be really fucking cool with that.
Henry Golding or Henry Cavill. It is the time of Henrys. They're both, and the thing is, they both go in a kind of a different direction. Henry Cavill, you know, I can't imagine the emotional depth, but my God, that man can wear nice clothes.
And let's face it, one of the treats of 2020 was Henry Cavill building a gaming PC.
100%. 100%. That man is the Witcher. Toss a coin to the Witcher. Ovalia plenty. You won't understand that at all, Mark. And apologies. But yeah, no, it's. I want to see Daniel Craig's last ride. I'm praying to God it comes out in November and that cinemas are still open and that we can see it. And it kind of also feels like we just need to get it out of the way because then we can have fun speculating who the next Bond's going to be. Yeah. Bang up for it. Really, really up for it. Really, really hope. It's interesting because the end of Spectre, he literally drives off into a new day with Léa Seydoux, and you get the feeling that that is not going to happen. To me, it feels like the opening sequence is going to be him with Léa Seydoux and the whole kind of like we all have our secrets or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be the opening, and then he's gonna disappear, and we're gonna have 2 years later or something like that.
Yes. I really, really hope they don't just fridge her in the first hour of the film. I want him to, Ana de Armas can be stunning looking and they can maybe have a little bit of flirty thing going on, but then whatever her arc is what her arc is. Lashana Lynch can help him out, be a great support and whatnot, and him just have Léa Seydoux at the end of the film as well. That I would really, really, I want a Bond to walk off into the sunset because George Lazenby didn't. None of the other Bonds all just ended in kind of like typical Bond fashion. George Lazenby, honestly, the end of On Her Majesty's Secret Service, like.
As a standalone, I think On Her Majesty's Secret Service, as a standalone, is a fantastic movie.
It's an incredible film, and I just remember Donna watching the. Sorry, go on.
I am right in thinking that the end of that movie, he gets married, doesn't he? And then she gets killed.
Yeah, he gets married. They are driving off to their honeymoon.
Yeah.
And then they stop by the side of the road, and then some Spectre folks come along and shoot her.
Yeah.
And then he's holding her body. A policeman comes along, asking is everything all right, and he just says, oh no, everything's quite all right, we've got all the time in the world, because the song that kind of goes through the film is we have all the time in the world. And then it's this very gentle music, and it ends on the shot of like the bullet in like the bullet hole in the glass.
Yeah.
And then it's this, and then it's and it's just, don't do that. I understand why you did that, but don't do that. Just end off on the bullet hole. So that moment, like Donna watched the end of it, and she was like, "What are you watching?" I was like, "On Her Majesty's Secret Service," and she was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "Oh, it's a Bond film." And she was like, "That's a Bond film," and and it was like, yeah. And I just want Bond to be happy. If 2020 has taught us anything, it's let Bond be happy. Just let people be happy. And Bond needs to be happy.
He has been the moodiest Bond so far.
He has. He's been brilliant. He started off his Bond career where Parkour Man did some parkour over a little glass thing over a door, and Daniel Craig just walked through the door.
Yeah, he just smashes through it.
Incredible. I mean, there's that one bit in that section as well where someone shoots at him, runs out of bullets, they throw the gun at him, and he just catches it and then just throws it back at the person. It hits them in the head.
I really do think that the Casino Royale is one of the most underrated movies of the past 20 years.
Casino Royale bangs. It slaps.
And actually, Ian, in saying that, I have a copy here of Casino Royale, the limited edition steelbook. I have 2 copies of Blu-ray of Casino Royale. I have a limited edition steelbook, which is very, very pretty. And I have that 3-disc edition they did with the director's cut in it.
With the extended cut, very nice. You are a madman, and I love you. I just November. Please be November, because I tell you what, if it is going to be November, I need to start doing Ian's Guide to Bondage again in the next couple of weeks. And if I start doing that and then they fucking delay it again.
Yeah.
What else we got?
We also have Rebecca.
Well, now.
Okay. Ben Wheatley's Rebecca.
Well, now.
What did you think?
I mean, I'm very much looking forward to my time with it. I'm a little bit worried. The fact that Ben Wheatley is doing this is making me think that there's got to be something different happening here.
Is that because it's it's a version of Rebecca directed by Ben Wheatley, starring Lily James. By the way, top billed Lily James, Armie Hammer, and Kristen Scott Thomas. And then that is the trailer.
Yeah, that trailer looks like it's Rebecca.
Yeah, that trailer looks like the most generic Netflix film trailer.
I would slightly disagree with that. I don't think it's got Netflix film look to it. It looks like a film, or at least I thought it did. It's just it looks like a pretty straight retelling of Rebecca, and that worries me. Oh, what are you saying? Oh man, that's lovely. That's some lovely packaging, that is,
isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like a very straight telling of Rebecca, but I would question why would Ben Wheatley just want to do a straight retelling of Rebecca?
Yeah, that's it.
So I remain intrigued. I will watch anything that stars Lily James and Armie Hammer, and watch anything where it stars them in those clothes and in that setting.
Yeah, this is a bit Ian Nip, this, isn't it?
Mate, it is 100% Ian Nip. The sartorial supremacy of Armie Hammer rears its head again.
Yeah. I think the trailer's a bit... It doesn't sell it, but I was already sold, so it doesn't need to sell it to me.
No, I mean, looking forward to October.
Yeah. Broken Hearts Gallery, which I think is out this week.
Yeah, I haven't seen the trailer, but...
Do you know what? I'd happily spend 90 minutes watching that. If that's
really?
94 minutes, it can go fuck itself.
We reviewing Broken Arts Gallery next week then, are we? What's going on? Assuming I can get to the cinema, who knows?
Well, it's a maybe at the moment. I think on that one, we'll see. We've got a few 109 minutes. That's way too fucking long.
Oh, okay, all right.
I still might go and see it. We'll see. Yeah, but that's that, and then the next one is June. I want to try and find out what Rebecca's doing, because my old class has gone. Bex, what are you doing, Bet? Give me a second. You want me to come down? That be easier? So Becky is about ready, so I'm going to go downstairs, but I'm going to continue like a professional. I'm going to continue podcasting as I walk down the stairs.
Oh, yes.
Like a pro. Going to get all of my bits that I need. A separate microphone that I have to hold separately. I have a glass that has some Pepsi in it in my pocket. Here we go. Let's see how badly this goes. So yeah, Ian, Dune trailer that we just watched.
Spicy.
It is spicy, isn't it?
It's I mean, for we knew it was expensive and we knew it had that cast. So I suppose you put two and two together and it equals 4. Looks brilliant. It looks brilliant.
Yeah,
I'm
looks brilliant.
Little worried about Timothée. Little bit worried about him as the hero.
Yeah.
Like gender swap that shit and have Zendaya in that lead role, and I'd be like, yeah, man, let's fucking go.
I'd be more inclined to believe that Zendaya could pull that shit off than Timothée.
Well,
Yeah, but
isn't supposed to be a hugely kind of capable guy at the start.
No.
Well, Timothée,
Yeah.
I kind of just got the impression he was kind of like Oscar Isaac's son. They start picking off his like family members and stuff, and he's got to like grow up.
Yeah, I think from remembering from reading the actual book, because most of my Dune related memories are from obviously the Lynch film, which isn't hugely accurate to the book anyway, but I think he's supposed to be quite coddled when events start out, and then he has to kind of man the fuck up. If ever a guy looks like he needs to man the fuck up, it's Timothée Chalamet.
Yes, it is.
I mean, he's such a contradiction in terms because he constantly looks horny, but he also looks like an 8-year-old.
Yeah. The thing about Timothée Chalamet is, so far, and I've not seen it in that much. I think he's good in Interstellar. Didn't have much to do, but I think he's good in it. He's good in Call by Your Name, but I think he's the 3rd best thing in it. Maybe
awful.
the 4th best thing in it.
After the Peach.
The Peach is number 1.
That Peach put some work.
The Peach put some serious fucking yards in. It went to places it didn't need to go.
It did.
Michael Stuhlbarg and Armie Hammer, fantastic. I think he's actively terrible in Lady Bird, and I like the movie Lady Bird, but I thought he was atrocious in it. But I thought he was alright in The Hostiles. And I've not seen Little Women or Beautiful Boy yet, but apparently he's fantastic in Beautiful Boy.
Dude, Little Women, he's good.
I will watch it at some point, but
I think it's got potential. I think this could be the film that people go, oh, he's an actual actor, rather than he's pretty in things.
No, I think they're already there. I think they're already there. He's a little bit. He's almost like what they wanted River Phoenix to be 30 years ago. Yeah.
Can I just raise one point about the Dune trailer? There's a bit at the beginning where he says something like, "What did you see?" And Zendaya goes, I think she says Paul, but it sounds like she says balls. It just does. I watched it through like 3 times to see if I was just being stupid, but it does. What did you see? Balls. Just putting that out there for next time you watch.
I will certainly look out for balls.
It does sound like she says balls. So yeah. So how far have you got without me? Where are we at?
Trailers.
Oh, literally trailers.
Literally trailers.
Dude. Oh, I've been offloading, Bex. You should be so glad you haven't been around.
It's been good. I've enjoyed it.
What have you been offloading about?
Oh, lockdown.
Trains.
Trains.
Literally, that was the last trailer thing we've done. So we're about to head into. I don't know. I'm thinking we should do. I'm thinking of ending things first.
Get it out of the way.
Get it out of the way while we're all still friends.
I think we'll be friends anyway. We're allowed to disagree.
So, I'm thinking of ending things is a film written, directed, and produced by Charlie Kaufman. Based on a book, or is it a short story?
Book.
It's a book. Stars Jesse Plemons, Jesse Buckley, different Jesse though. It's a different Jesse.
They're not the same person. Though.
No, but it's a different Jesse as in the name spelling.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm just saying I'm not pronouncing it wrong.
No.
What? Tony Collette and David Thewlis. What is the story? What is the story, Becky? Because I don't fucking know.
Well, obviously we're all spoiler all the time because you have to kind of go backwards with this story.
Yeah.
So, a aged janitor that is about to top himself is reflecting on his life and the events and the regrets that he has faced in his life.
Yes, except we see this
From the other way.
So we see it from the start of the movie.
We see the mental play that
he's putting across, and so our guide through his mental anguish is Jessie Buckley and Jesse Plemons, who are a newly formed couple who are going to see Jesse Plemons' parents for the day because she's got to get back because she's got work and she's thinking of ending things.
But she's thinking of ending different things.
I think she's thinking of ending all things, isn't she? Becky, I'm not going to go in first. We've been talking for a lot. Now, I think it's fair to say people might know that me and Ian didn't like this movie. But you didn't mind it, did you?
I actually really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Why?
Because like, obviously, I've never been in that position. I don't know what goes through your mind when you're about to kill yourself. But I'm assuming that you do reflect on your life and you do imagine how things would have played out differently if certain things had been different, and reflect on your regrets and things like that. And as a study of that, I think it works really quite well. And I think it's it's thought-provoking in that way, in that, you know, he could have gone off on a completely different path. He could have had a completely different life. She obviously, on a shallow level, she is the girl he didn't approach and talk to. And so she's there, basically. He's imagining what his life would have been had he approached her in that bar or in that cafe where she was a waitress, because obviously her backstory is open to interpretation, as is her name throughout the movie, because it changes at least 3 times. Because he doesn't know what any of those things are, so he is free to make them up as he wants. But there's obviously a point where he's come across her and he's not approached her, and that's why she's there.
Right. So it's one of those things, I think, where, and we often say it on the podcast, I often say it on the podcast, if a movie gets you, then it gets you. And it sounds like the movie did actually get you.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I will watch it again. But then we were talking about like the Kaufman stuff, weren't we, afterwards? And I've not seen Anomalisa, so I can't comment on that. But I like Synecdoche.
Yeah.
I like Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah.
What was the other one we mentioned? But it's not actually him. Fuck. One that he wrote but didn't direct.
There's been a few.
That we mentioned though earlier.
Adaptation?
No, wasn't this one. Oh, Being John Malkovich.
Right.
And yeah, I do quite like it. So it's, I don't know. I think maybe he's either a person you can kind of get on with or not.
Right. Ian, do you get on with Charlie Kaufman before this movie?
To an extent, yes. Ever so sorry for being distracted. I've just done one of the most embarrassing things in my professional career that I think I ever have. Mark is aware. Becky, you might want to show Becky. Sorry, I'm gonna have such a fucking explanation for the other managers in my work tomorrow. It's fine.
Oh, Ian.
I'm just
the cat's one.
Yeah, I've done it again. Anyway, it's fine. It's not like a problem or anything. It's funny more.
It's alright, listeners. It's not a dick pic.
No, and I mean it's nothing like Lou's job worthy or anything. It's just fucking embarrassing. Yeah, no, I I got on. I to an extent I get on well with Charlie Kaufman. It's a mixed bag. Really like being John Malkovich, and I really like adaptation. I'm kind of fascinated to watch them now to see whether I would still like them. Synecdoche, New York, I just it was a little bit whatever for me. In all fairness, Anomalisa I thought was actively annoying. My feelings on this film started for me with the opening titles that are so fucking tiny that it's like he's already trying to push buttons. And the film,
man is a fan of big title cards, aren't you?
no, I mean, but the thing is, I'm not a fan of big title cards because I find it hard to see things. I'm a fan of big title cards because I just like big things, I suppose. I don't know. But it just automatically, it was like, oh, fucking hell, why do that? And all through the film, I'm just thinking, why is someone giving him money to do this? Why am I watching this? Am I supposed, like, what exactly, what issues is he trying to work through? Or is he just basically going, look at me, I'm Charlie Kaufman, look at all this random fucking bollocks I can do. And Becky, like, to be clear, lots of people fucking like this film, and this isn't a comment on you specifically, Bex, but people who love Charlie Kaufman generally must be fucking exhausting. And I know you're not exhausting, Bex. So, like, and I you know, it's just the reaction to this film online has slightly grinded my gears a little bit. But I have watched the film, and to be clear, at first I said I don't want to review this week. I straight up said I don't want to review it, and then I just thought, you know what? No, I need to watch it. So then I watched the whole thing.
I was gonna watch it like myself because I was quite looking forward to it, and then you were like, I don't know if I can get through the rest of this film, and Mark was like, if Ian doesn't watch it, we don't have to watch it, and I was like, I actually kind of want to.
I was also, I think my reasoning for that was, Becky, if it's winding Ian up, imagine how much it's going to wind me up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll be honest, I switched off, but that's a fault of Charlie, for me, in my subjective view, that's a fault of Charlie Kaufman for not keeping me engaged. So you may well say, well, okay, you switched off, so obviously you didn't really understand what's going on, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, but no. That fucking bollocks at the end, where it's that pig talking to the old man, and then Jesse Plemons sings the song from fucking Oklahoma. No, I'm out. No.
Even you admit, Becky, that you were getting bored.
To be fair, that was because I needed to get changed to go to the doctors.
But you were still getting bored.
I wouldn't have been had I not been in a rush. I was fine with it.
No. Jessie Buckley, I think, and I know I think we disagree on this, Mark. I think she's really good in this. Like, the sheer different kind of characters she has to play. And to be fair, I kind of Jesse Plemons I think is a more consistent, like a straight line through the film, and that's the intention. I think he's really good in it as well. Jessie Buckley's doing some interesting shit here, and the way that she kind of like morphs into different characters at times, you know, when she goes on that massive rant about the film and turns into Pauline Kael, and it kind of came out of nowhere, but it also kind of felt like she was building up to it. I thought she was very, very, very good. I really like Jessie Buckley, and she's going to win an Oscar at some point. I don't think she's necessarily ever going to be a household name, because of factors of Hollywood. But I think she will get an awful lot of critical attention. She's going to be huge in film Twitter circles, and that's wonderful. David Thewlis, I liked. Toni Collette is basically doing what Toni Collette now seems to be doing. And that's...
It's a very Toni Collette role.
Yeah. But I lost my patience with it quite severely. I'm not going to go saying it's like the worst film of the year or anything like that, because the strength of the performances, I think, and, it looks really nice as well. It's entirely Charlie Kaufman, and he's the main creative force behind this film. So I am fuck this movie, and fuck you, Charlie Kaufman, for making me watch 2.25 hours of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's bigger things in the world to be worried about in 2020 than Charlie Kaufman making a fucking film that I really actively did not like, which is maybe why I'm not going off. But fuck you, Charlie Kaufman. Mark, what do you think?
It's classed on the Wikipedia as a psychological thriller.
I would say it's more of a psychological horror.
As in, it's horrible to watch.
No, it's a man facing his death fate head on and dealing with what that throws up for him.
A really boring alternative life. I'm sorry, I didn't get that from it at all. What I got from it was Charlie Kaufman constantly telling you how smart he is. And I don't fucking care.
But I think that works in this scenario, though, because Jesse Plemons' character, Jake, is trying to kind of justify how smart he is, but he's not that smart, so it's all from quotes and things he's read.
That's fine. That's fine. And I can see that. But that's like somebody trying to explain how great a cook they are by just cooking other people's food all the time. It doesn't... doing that, but he wrote it, and there's nothing else to it. There's nothing else to all of that. It's a sixth form common room of psychology and of quotes and of throwing all these fucking different names out. And it's a 62-year-old man who's made this, and it's just it drips in I'm the smartest man in every room, and it was nails down a fucking chalkboard for me throughout the entirety of it. There's, literally, if you took all of the time, that they're in the car driving, and essentially big chunks of it are Jessie Buckley reciting other people's words, literally a fucking cut and paste, something somebody would get fucking failed for in a writing class because it's just, well, you didn't write that, you just took it off somebody else, right? You could have taken the entirety of a fucking great Welsh accent Tom Hardy talking about a concrete pour. That was more interesting than their fucking road trip.
No, but that's the point in this. He's trying to imagine
to
a
bore
conversation. No, he's trying to imagine a conversation between him and the intelligent person that he's imagined that this girl that he's seen once is.
Which is fine.
But he's not intelligent enough to build it himself.
Right, and I see that, but the problem is, you can do that, but if you keep on repeating that over and over again and getting people to watch it, and you're there going, nothing else is happening other than this, which is a boring version of his mind. And then you're showing me.
Drawn out.
You're showing me how boring this man's mind is, and then trying to convince me that he maybe shouldn't kill himself. No, I don't agree. I think that. And I think that Jessie Plemons is a great actor. I've not seen Jessie Buckley enough to comment on it, but apparently she's great. And I can see why she'd be great here. And she is doing interesting bits by bouncing around her voice a little bit. Because at first I thought, her voice has dropped here, it's changed. She's not nailing this American accent. And then it came to a different bit, and I was like, oh no, wait a minute, it's clearly intentional because she's going to a third different one now. And then now she's gone back to that first one. All right, that's interesting.
And a demeanour completely.
Yeah, and a demeanour change, and a hair change a little bit. And I'm thinking, all right, that's interesting. And then I started paying attention to the movie again and going, oh, wait a minute, no, it's fucking not.
So I and Bex, honestly, I don't want to put you on the spot. I'm trying to understand the film. So is it that what exactly is going, like, from when Jessie Buckley walks into the school? What is your interpretation of what is happening in the story there? Because I just could not connect the dots.
I think just everything is in his imagination. I think the closer he gets to actually topping himself, the closer they get to him, yeah. And then obviously she meets the janitor, which is the real him now, but she never takes her shoes off. That did bother me. Take your wet shoes off and just clean the floors. Take your fucking shoes off, bitch.
Yeah, and then you have the dance sequence on it.
I quite like the interpretive dance.
I'm fine, again, with the interpretive dance sequence that shows you through an alternative version of their, what is it, right? Except we've just watched 2 and a bit hours of their the interpretation of their life. And now you're going to show us it in interpretive dance as well, right? But it would have been far more interesting to have done something with Clemens and Jessie Buckley doing that.
No, so people that can dance.
But then it just. Do you know what? No, I'm sorry. It's fucking bullshit by a filmmaker who desperately wants to be quirky, but just is too fucking bland to be quirky.
So
it is somebody trying to do what David Lynch does by thinking that they can do what David Lynch does, but David Lynch has no idea what he's doing 90% of the time.
It's not Lynchian at all.
I think it's trying to be there.
I don't know that it is. It's an adaptation of a book, and it's apparently quite close to the book.
I am very glad that you got something for it from it. I really am, because what is always interesting with films like this that just I don't get. I'm always interested to talk to somebody who did get it to see if it's just that I'm missing something. And occasionally it can absolutely be that. I don't think it is with this one. I just think it's a boring as fuck movie.
Now, honestly, right, years ago, I watched a short film on like YouTube or Vimeo or whatever, was about a guy who seemed to have a bit of a lonely life, and then he met a girl, and it's kind of almost like going through like little snapshots of their relationship, and it leads up to when they get married. And then as soon as it says "you may kiss the bride," it cuts back to him jerking off in the shower, and then a cum face.
Nice.
And I'm kind of thinking, like, is that basically I'm thinking of ending things?
That's the happier version I'm thinking of anything. I think part of it also is, Bex, is that aesthetic. That aesthetic that they choose, I find it horrible to look at.
Oh, with the beautiful wallpaper.
And all that fucking like a slightly nightmarish version of a Wes Anderson movie. That is just See,
I'd decorate my house with wallpaper like that.
I'd burn that house down. I'd burn that motherfucker down.
I love a creepy wallpaper.
And then when you're sitting there going, what happened? I go, I fucking told you not to put that fucking wallpaper up. Just do one big fucking glass house, one room.
I would not live in your house. We have to have 2 separate houses.
We have very different interior design. What is it? Now, I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. And that's why I don't want to shit on it too much. But yeah, I think it is.
Can I make it even worse?
It's incredibly smug, and I can't cope. I can cope with every emotion of filmmaking. Smug filmmaking bugs the shit out of me.
Too right.
That didn't feel smug.
No.
There's only one type of smug filmmaker I can cope with.
McG.
What?
McG.
It's not even McG. I don't even think he's smug. I think he's just like
I was
so paid to do this shit. It is Bay. It's about the only smug filmmaker I can cope with, because I think he's smug about, look, I know this is shit, but look how much money it makes. That is, look how smart I am.
Do you want me to make it worse?
Go on, what?
Out of all the Kaufman films that we've actually mentioned, I think this is probably my favourite.
I only like one Kaufman movie, and the last time I watched it, I really fucking struggled with it.
Was that Eternal Sunshine?
No, it's being John Malkovich. I can't watch Eternal Sunshine because, do you know what? I think it's quirky shite. I hated it when we watched it at the cinema, Becky. Yeah, and I fucking despised adaptation. Yeah, I just don't think Charlie Kaufman's for me. I don't think he's tuned. I don't think my ear is tuned to him. But I think yours is a little bit more. So you can watch Annalise on your fucking own.
I do want to watch Annalise though.
So you're definitely not shit, I'm guessing, Becky.
Yeah.
Right, Ian, where are you on it?
Yeah, definitely shit. But I can't. If I compare this to like The Grudge, nah. But then again, The Grudge was pre-COVID, so who's to say?
I'd prefer to watch The Grudge again.
Oh yeah, I mean, to be fair, I'd prefer to watch The Grudge again because it's shorter. It will take less of my life.
That's my remit behind it. Is I'm thinking that literally at one point we had to pause that movie, and I turned around to Becky and went, "There's an hour and 20 minutes left."
No, you initially freaked out because you thought it said 120
minutes. I did initially freak out because I thought it said 120 minutes, and at that point, I very nearly thought, I can't do this.
I did offer the option, didn't I?
Yeah, but I thought I've got to. That's my
go away.
That's my commitment to this show.
Turned around to him at one point. I think it was the age is like a road to hell thing, and you can't say that. And she went, no, you're right. Age is a road to heck. And I laughed and looked across at Mark and just like rolled his eyes at me. I was like, right, you're not even fucking trying to enjoy this film anymore, are you? You're not even trying to get anything out of it. Just either go away or just sort your face out.
It mentions the phrase big sky as well, which annoys the fuck out of me.
Big sky,
yeah. Of course it's big. It literally is everywhere.
But it feels bigger when you can see more of it. If you're in like a city and you can just see the patch between the skyscrapers above you, then it doesn't feel like a big sky, does it?
Yeah, because it's everywhere.
No, but you can't fucking see it.
So? It's still there.
It's so obtuse.
It's not a bit obtuse. The sky is everywhere. So our audience poll, definitely not shit, 14%. Touching cloth, 29%. Shit, 43%. And Geostorm, 14%.
Yeah, all over the fucking place. I get that. Yeah, 100%.
CS3P Combat. Player 1, choose your character.
Tired of film and television podcasts where the hosts exist in a blissful state of agreement?
Instructor. Player 2, choose your character.
Well, you're in luck.
Punter. Round 1, fight!
Allow me to introduce you to the Chinstroker vs. Punter podcast, featuring two film and television fans from Birmingham, England, who enjoy their media in very different ways.
But anyway, that brings us to the end of the plot of Blue Velvet.
The plot. I mean, the main characters are two of the dullest main characters I have ever encountered in any film.
So join us as we catch up on what we've been watching from our own very different perspectives.
Double KO. Round 2, fight!
You can find us at csvsp.libsyn.com, also on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, all the places that podcasts can be found.
Just really
It's not visually striking.
No.
Just getting confirmation.
It's just in English. That's the third time though. I mean, is this on?
Are you a craft beer junkie?
Do you eagerly anticipate the freshest IPA release from your local craft brewer?
Do you check in every beer you've ever had on Untapped?
Do you know the difference between a Belgian triple and a Berliner Weisse?
Then do we have a podcast for you? What's Untapped podcast gives you beer reviews, interviews with brewers, behind the scenes access to beer festivals, games, and more. Whether you're a craft beer junkie or new to the world of craft brewing, What's Untapped podcast is something for you.
Check us out online, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and now wearepodsyndicate.com. And as always, keep drinking, you dum-dums.
Ian, what have you been watching?
I need a wee.
Becky, what have you been watching?
Hang on. I can knock on my own, I don't think.
You have? Yes, your big fib. Oh, you're watching TV stuff on your own. Have you?
Oh, I watched, but I'm a cheerleader.
Did you?
I did.
When that came up and I went, but I'm a cheerleader, you kind of shrugged and went, oh, am I?
I didn't.
You did. Oh, was that something else? That was something else.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? What is it?
So basically, what's her face?
Uh-huh.
Natasha Lyonne.
Oh, is it the Natasha Lyonne one?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mentioned it to you a few weeks ago that I wanted to watch it, and you were like,
I think I got confused with something else.
It's basically she's a cheerleader. She's got a boyfriend. She dresses in like nice dresses, and she's a Christian, and she's got very nice parents and stuff like that. And then she gets home. Well, she's driven home from school by her boyfriend one day very slowly because he's obviously waiting for a certain signal. And her friends and family have staged an intervention because they think she's gay. So they send her to a homosexual rehabilitation camp.
Conversion camp?
Yeah, basically. So very kind of...
You watched a lot of these movies recently,
I was going to say, very Miseducation of Cameron Post, but funny. And it basically highlights the stupidity of putting a load of people that are struggling with their sexuality together and just kind of like trying to convert them back. They are with other like-minded people.
So is she gay?
Yeah.
All right, she's gay.
Well, she doesn't realise she's gay at the start.
But she does. It's a full what's that In and Out, the Kevin Kline movie.
I don't know. I've not seen it.
Yeah, it's In and Out.
No.
Kevin Kline movie. Quite good.
But yeah, basically she's not gay when she goes in, or she is, but she's not confronted it. She's not realised it. And then being there makes her realise, oh, actually I am gay. And then she falls in love with Claire Duval, who is in there, and she knows.
Is this
she's
another
gay.
noughties movie by any chance? So of course it's got Claire Duval in it.
And she.
Does Claire Duval play somebody who's edgy?
No, 1999.
Oh,
She is edgy.
Yeah, she is. Is she a bit moody? Does she wear black? Does she have a choker chain?
No, I think that's the other one. There's another character that's more edgy than Claire Duval.
Oh, she probably got there before Claire Duval. Claire Duval, all throughout filming that, I've been looking at choker chain thinking.
So basically, Natasha Lyonne finds two of the boys that are there kissing in like the main office.
But they're boys!
But she grasses on them, and
fucking Howard Webb.
One of them gets kicked out for initiating it. And then there's a anti. Oh God, I can't remember what the rehabilitation centre place is called. But there's a couple of guys that live nearby that had attended it previously, so they're post gay. So they went to the camp and they got to be post gay, which is like cured, and then they are now post gay because they've gone back to being gay. And what they do is they break people out of the camp and take them to a gay club called Cocksuckers, to show them that there's a different way to deal with being homosexual than just try to convert yourself back to being straight.
You know what? I might watch this.
It's really good.
I might watch this. It sounds quite good. I think when you said what it was, I think I thought it was something else.
I would happily rewatch it with you.
I
really
might
good.
watch that. It sounds like it could be a decent amount of fun.
All right, I won't say any more about it then.
All right then.
Yeah, very good. And then I think everything else we've watched together.
Ian, what have you been watching? I don't know if Ian's back yet or not.
Ian, you back?
Hi.
Ian. Not sure if Ian's back yet.
Hello.
2 hours.
Can you not hear me?
Can hear you now,
I
yes.
can now, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you back?
I'm back.
You want to do what you've been watching, and then me and Bex will do the couple we've got together?
Oh, okay, fair enough. So I've only watched the one because been playing a lot of Tony Hawk and a lot of the Avengers game, which is surprising considering I thought the beta was shit.
Yeah, you really didn't like the beta, did you?
It's been the it's been what people have been saying about it, though, to be fair. So, like, when the game came out, people were saying, do you know what, the story's actually really good. It was like, oh, fuck it, go on then. So I bought a physical copy because it was like, okay, well, I can put it on eBay if I don't like it and, you know, get most of my money back. And, yeah, the single player is really good. I mean, like, Tony Stark is voiced by the same guy who voices Nathan Drake in the Uncharted series, so it's just like, could you not even...
He's a big gamer voice. I think he did all the voices in Black Ops and things like that as well.
Yeah, he's all over the place, but he basically sounds like him, which is a little bit distracting. And it has still got the Mexican non-union equivalent MCU like characters. Like they're not Robert Downey Jr. Chris Hemsworth, like Thor, looks like Jeff Bridges in this.
I saw some clips of like Thor footage, and he doesn't look right.
None of them do. But I don't know. As very, very absent-minded smash buttons make things go boom, it's quite entertaining, and it focuses on Ms. Marvel. So you basically primarily play as her as you try to reunite the Avengers, and she's fun. She's a really, really nice character. It actually makes me more interested in the Disney Plus series they're doing for Ms. Marvel now that I know the character a bit more. But yeah, so I've been playing a lot of that and Tony Hawk, and generally just, to be fair, like actually like meeting up with people and stuff like that as well, so there hasn't been that much time for films. But I did watch one film, which is a film I teased Mark with earlier, or actually I think I maybe put it in the Bastards chat. Cannot believe it's taken me as long to see this as it has, and it has me very excited for the impending sequel, which is supposed to be on Netflix in December. I watched John Landis's Coming to America for the first time.
Fuck off! You'd never seen Coming to America?
No.
Wow.
Oh, fucking holy shit balls. So that was the first time. I'm getting a little bit excited here.
You are, yeah.
So that was the first time that you heard the royal penis is now clean.
The royal penis is now clean. The
barber shop.
I tried tying my shoelaces once. It was not. It was not a good. It was a disappointing experience.
Muhammad Ali's 136 years old.
Yeah.
Fuck that. The Muhammad Ali and Cassius Clay conversation with the Joe Fraser is 98 years old. Muhammad Ali is 136 years old. Fucking kills me every time I watch it.
That
film. We're talking, Becky, because you're away on Saturday night, aren't you? And I couldn't work out what I was watching. I fucking know what I'm watching now.
Oh no, I won't watch that with you. We'll watch that another night.
Oh, fuck you.
I'm going to a sleepover. I'm nearly 40 years old. It's really exciting.
Anyway, sorry, Ian. I jumped in there. Your first ever watch. What did you think?
I mean, it's fucking brilliant, isn't it? Like, it's so fucking funny. The fucking McDowell's thing, where it's like, I've got 2 beef patties, I've got onions, pickles, ketchup, blah, blah, blah. McDonald's have a sesame seeded bun. My bun has no seeds. I just something about that where he's so proud of copying McDonald's, but just having an unseeded bun. It's just a brilliant, weird bit of comedy. It's
sexual chocolate.
Yep. Just at the end where he's like, sexual chocolate. It just fucking throws his. I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, fair play. Like, Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy are really doing some shit with those makeup effects. I mean, the Saul is incredible. I mean, like, the bit at the end in the post-credits where he's got the extra bit, you can kind of see the Eddie Murphy in there. But aside from that, he's fucking unrecognizable. It's incredible. Yeah. Arsenio Hall is such good support as well. The bit towards the end where James Earl Jones is like, you have disgraced us. You will, as punishment, you will stay in the Waldorf Astoria. Thank you, sir. Yeah, it's just, no, I mean, it's just the when James Earl Jones comes back, comes to America, and it's like, oh, your son's working at my restaurant. My son works. I just, and then the scene in the house. Sorry, I'm just reciting bits, but it's brilliant. The scene in their house where he comes looking for his son, and the dog is there, just looking from like one side. Whenever anybody comes in from either side, it's just the dog fucking turning and looking. There's such small bits throughout the entire film that just make me fucking howl. And this new one's going to be fascinating, and it's interesting that it's supposed to be like, we're thinking what, Netflix in December, and there hasn't been anything about it yet. It seems like it's completed and whatnot, but like, is Rick Baker going to be back? Are they going to be pulling more shit like that?
Apparently, Murphy has said that he wants it to be, he wanted it to be made, if they're going to do it, they wanted to make it in the spirit of a Coming to America sequel. So he didn't want he wanted it to be, he didn't want it to be like Nutty Professor and things like that when it was too much over the top. Just wanted it to be, fuck it, let's go back to what worked, not to what I got carried away with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good Eddie Murphy back then.
Well, if Dolomite Is My Name is anything to go by, yes.
Yeah, because it's Craig Brewer doing this as well, isn't it? So so Arsenio Hall's back. And what? So I read the synopsis. He goes to America to find his son or something. Like what?
I know that apparently the film is scheduled to release in theatres in December.
Oh, fuck off! That's happening. What?
Really? Release in theatres December 18th. Paramount Pictures.
Nice.
What's the synopsis of this one?
After the events of the first film, former Prince Hakim Joffa is set to become King of Zamandu when he discovers he has a son he never knew about in America. A street-savvy Queens native named Lavelle, honouring his royal father's dying wish to groom his son as Crown Prince, Hakim semi-set off to America once again.
But so who did he have sex with then?
I reckon they're going to work that out there. It'll be some fucking prostitute or something like that, won't it? And I'm not saying that for what is it. That is probably what it's going to end up being. He accidentally had sex with a prostitute or something like that.
Yeah. All right. No, fair enough. I'll bang up for it. I like I say, I can't believe it took me as long as it did to watch it.
My God. You've got some of the cast of this. James Earl Jones is back. Wesley Snipes, Tracy Morgan, John Amos, Leslie Jones plays the kid's mum. I have a feeling that's going to be good.
When John Amos being back as well, like that, yeah. I mean, he does some fucking solid work in Coming to America. Yeah, all right, brilliant. And Wesley Snipes is in it. Fuck it, go on then.
Wesley Snipes plays. Who's he playing? Wesley Snipes is playing Amani's older brother.
Is Amani no? Because the girl he got with was Lisa. So who the fuck's that then?
Don't know.
All right. Well, regardless, very, very much looking forward to Coming to America.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't believe it took me so long. It will be getting repeat watches now I've watched that first time. Like that first 20 minutes or so in Zamunda is fucking incredible. Yeah. I mean, the rest of the film is great, but that first 20 minutes or so is amazing.
It's fantastic. I adore that movie. In that era, Eddie Murphy is just he is ridiculously good. He had a good sort of 4 or 5 years where it was like he's insanely good. From 48 Hours through to, I would say, maybe Boomerang.
Makes it all the more disappointing when he went shit, though.
Yeah, it did, but he had some great stuff out
there. Beverly Hills Cop, I genuinely like. I don't think I like Beverly Hills Cop until I watch Beverly Hills Cop, and it fucking cracks me up.
Yeah. And then Beverly Hills Cop 2 is probably just as good.
Coming to America's on Netflix.
It is, yeah.
We could watch that tonight.
You might. What else do we watch, Bex?
So we watched. Mark had a bad day, hadn't he?
I had a bad day, yeah.
Becky decided to make him his favourite meal and let him watch St. Elmo's Fire.
Now, I love St. Elmo's Fire. don't I, as a film.
You really do.
I
Yeah.
absolutely adore this movie.
You shout sing the song in my face a lot as
Yep.
well. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But you've had a mixed relationship with this movie, haven't you?
I'm always just like, do you know what? It's fine. It's fine. They're very indulgent, wealthy, privileged kids being wealthy and privileged post-college for the most part. Like there's some of them that are kind of not doing quite as well as others, but none of them are really fucking struggling, are they? And it's all just a bit like, it just feels a bit wah to me. Like, get a grip. You, fucking Jules, with your great job in the bank, you just lost it because you were fucking your boss. That's on you.
She lost it because she's a cocaine addict.
Well, yeah. So yeah, it's not relatable.
No, but I think
A lot of the personal stuff they're dealing with, I guess, is a little bit more so than the actual than the work stuff, I guess. Like the fact that they've all come out of college and got good jobs straight away, and they've got like apartments, and with the exception of what's his face, the pretty one,
blah blah.
and his wife and his trailer or whatever he lives in, and
It is a
the
trailer.
fact that he can't keep a job and stuff like that. That's more relatable to people nowadays.
But I think you look at a different time as well. I think you're not been able to associate with the time.
Yeah, that's
frame
true.
Of that. I think it's
Well,
also
that's it. Like it's in the 80s, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mid-80s, yeah.
During that 80s kind of capitalist boom.
It's
that
the
went
yuppie
on.
boom, yeah.
I was maximum 7 years old in the 80s, so it's not really something I can look and go, oh yes, I remember this happening.
No, I think so. I suppose one of those films, like something like a lot of the John Hughes movies, or a lot of the Kevin Smith movies for people now, and things like that, where I think it depends on when you saw them.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, I didn't see St. Elmo's Fire until a few years ago.
Yeah, whereas I saw it when I was like maybe 12, 13 years old.
That makes sense.
And so it hits you in different ways. I still adore it. I still think it's
There's
fantastic.
no nostalgia there for me with it, so I think that does damage it in the same way, like you say, with it's not like Breakfast Club. If you watched it for the first time as like a proper grown up, you'd be like, these fucking kids whining about, little bitches.
Yeah. We also rewatched Murder on the Orient Express. Didn't
We did.
Nice. I'm going to do that closer to Death on the Nile, but yes.
That is what I said to Becky. I said, shouldn't we do this closer to Death on the Nile? And what did you say to me?
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Nice.
So I watched it tonight with them.
Really wanted to watch it.
Yeah. What did you think of rewatch, Bex?
Really, really good. Like really, really good. I think on initial watch I was quite dubious when I didn't really want to watch it. But then did enjoy it. But it was coming from a place of starting off being dubious, whereas I expected to enjoy it this time. And I knew the bits in there that were gonna bother me were not gonna bother me too much, like the Johnny Depp because he dies really quickly, like Judi Dench because she's not in it an awful lot, like Kenneth Branagh not being what's his face, David Suchet. Like I knew that, and I think he makes a really good Poirot, to be perfectly honest.
See, I still really enjoyed it, but I'm now at the point where I'm like, right, I need a new one. Because I enjoyed it less this time than I enjoyed it the first time round. But I still really enjoyed it. But I really enjoyed it first time round. The first time round, I think I gave it 4.5 stars.
Yeah.
This time I gave it 3.5. Because it dropped down for me a little bit.
Did it?
Yeah. It just...
Is it because, do you think, because you knew the twist? So there wasn't
possibly,
that element
yeah.
Because I think that is a problem with Agatha Christie stuff, is that you can watch it once, or you can read it once, and you'll get a certain kind of satisfaction out of it. You'll never get that again. It's why, is it Mousetrap?
Yeah.
Is the ending to that is such a closely guarded secret, is because it is these kind of things literally have spoilers that will spoil it.
Yeah, I absolutely do think it is because of that, but it has made me go, but I am very up for Death on the Nile.
Fuck yes.
I am very, very up for that. And then finally, what was the last one we watched?
It made me go and start looking at the Poirot novels that I could buy.
Fair enough.
Because I just want to read them.
Go have at it.
A-Team. Again.
Yeah, we watched the A-Team, didn't we?
Standard.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the A-Team is fucking brilliant.
It really is fucking
It's just fucking brilliant. I'm not going to say that much about it because I spoke about it loads on here, but what are they doing? They're trying to fly a tank. It is just fucking genius. I just... I don't know how to respond to that. Thank you, Siri. I don't either. If I'm ever, which won't happen, but if I ever did meet Joe Carnahan, right, and we're past all this COVID bit with all our vaccinations and they haven't killed us, right, I will just go.
They're not going to kill you. They're not going to do fucking anything. Sorry.
I will go, Joe. Yeah. Thank you. And when I hug him and he goes, "What's this for?" I go, "Just the flying a tank moment." It's given me more joy than you can ever imagine.
Yeah, it's good.
That
Sometimes.
It's just magnificent. When it came out, there was 3 movies that came out around all in the same year that were all vying for this title, and it was this, Losers, and the first Expendables movie, right? And my brain should be tuned to go, look, it's the Expendables. That's the best of the lot of them because of the overt Stallone-ness of it all, right?
That's probably the one we've rewatched the least.
Yeah, I also adore The Losers. It's a brilliant movie and one of the best comic book movies.
Yeah.
Like, not comic book movies as in one of the best comic book movies, better than Dark Knight or anything like that, but actual movies that feels like a comic book.
Yeah.
The Losers is fantastic at that. And I love that. But the A-Team is just a 5-star fucking banger for me. And if anybody argues with me about it, it will make me just go, do you know what? I don't care that you have no joy in your life and you can't take joy in this movie.
That's fair enough. Yeah. I agree with you.
Absolutely.
A-Team is absolutely great.
So on to another movie that has no joy in its life. Mulan. Mulan is a movie that Disney hate.
Yeah.
And so they have dumped it on their streaming service and have tried to charge you £20 to watch it, even though in a few weeks you're going to be able to watch it for free on the same service. So Mulan is directed by Nikakara and stars people. I'm not going to butcher people's names.
Just don't.
Yifi Liu, Donnie Yen, C-May, Jason Scott Lee. Did Jason Scott Lee play in this? Was he that guy?
He was, wasn't he?
That guy.
The baddie.
Fucking hell, it was Jason Scott Lee. Well, fair enough. So Mulan, it is the story of Mulan from the cartoon. I haven't seen the cartoon either, the animated film.
No?
Nope, haven't seen it. I was done with Disney by that point.
Yeah.
So what is the story of? Rural Imperial...
Is Jason Scott Lee the guy with the impressive eyeliner? The really bad guy?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Imperial China is being attacked by this rogue army led by a witch and Jason Scott Lee.
Really, it's the witch.
It really is the witch, yeah. Who is powered by Chi. The Imperial Army then goes to each borough, is it?
Village,
but they call them something else, don't they?
Villages.
No, they call them something else.
No.
Regions. No, they do. They call them something else.
They go to the villages and they need...
But they call them something else. They don't just call them villages. They do. I promise you they do.
Okay.
And they are taking one male from each family. They can't take a male from Mulan's family because he's too old. So Mulan goes instead and pretends in the most hilarious way to be a boy, to hide the fact that, she's a girl.
She just straps her titties down.
She straps her titties down and puts her hair up, yeah.
Okay.
And doesn't shower.
Yeah.
And then what would you have it when she unleashes the chi? They tell her to get out and then come back when they realise they need her. Mulan. What? It is a little bit. It is a little bit like that. Yes, disgrace. But we still need.
You can use the chick, but you can't use it to its full potential because she's being dishonest about who she is. So in order to beat the witch, she has to be honest about who she is. That's when they kill her.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Ian, what did you think to Mulan?
I think Mulan's both interesting and utterly uninteresting. I think what Nikki Caro brings to it is one of the more individual visual styles that there's been to a Disney live action remake. More so in the first third than the rest of the film. It's a very, very high budget looking film. I think it's got the sequence where she's getting dolled up for like being presented early on doesn't feel like that doesn't feel like it's in a blockbuster movie at all. It feels much more indie in spirit, and I quite enjoyed that. And I thought the action like choreography towards the start, like that initial attack, there's this one shot where the guys are like moving along and then they start walking up a wall and then the camera just kind of like tilts 90 degrees. Awesome. Like that shot really stuck in my mind. And I was thinking like they're doing some really fucking interesting shit with this film, like visually. And then they introduced Gong Li and she's this kind of witch character, but it's like you're on her side. And for so long through the film, it was like, why is Gong Li the bad guy? I agree with her. You know, the Mulan character, it kind of feels like because they need to appeal to Chinese audiences and the Chinese government, it's very, this is what my government wants me to, this is what my rulers want me to do, so I am going to do this. It's a
propaganda film.
Yeah. Because this is what my rulers want me to do, so I'm going to do that. And then you've got this witch who is basically powered by her own thoughts. And it's like, okay, yeah, I agree with her. I'm with her. And through the film, it was like, je suis Gong Li. Throughout the entire thing. And even at the end, I'm still je suis Gong Li. Because it's basically, all right then, Mulan, you haven't disgraced your people. You saved Jet Li. Because I don't know. Is he a good emperor? I don't know. He's the emperor, so let's follow him. Whereas, I mean, the thing is with the cartoon Mulan, I liked Mulan in the animated Mulan. I don't particularly like Mulan in this one. I don't hate her. I fucking nothing her. Like, it's bland as baby shit, that character and that performance. Gong Li is doing some stuff and I like it. And yeah, I very nothinged this film and I was quite disappointed.
Becky.
I really quite liked it, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't have any kind of like nostalgic love for the cartoon that's making me kind of hold back on liking the live action, whereas with some of the live action ones I have had.
To be clear, I watched the live action one for the first time this year. Sorry.
Okay, fair enough. I think the same as you. I watched the animated one first time like a few months ago, and it's got kind of a kind of kick-assy feminist vibe to it, which the live action version doesn't. It is a bit more kind of bland is probably a good word for it, but I don't mean to be so negative. But it is very kind of white bread. But I think the baddie's really good, and the baddies are all really good in this. I like the baddies, which I think is possibly not what you're supposed to get out of it. The witch raised some very good points.
Mm-hmm.
And she had that cool like white visor makeup situation going on as well.
She did have a cool white visor makeup thing going on, yeah. So you are looking at it going, I mean, yeah, all this is bad, but you get to look fucking pretty bad. That's why you're doing it. Yeah. And she turned into a fucking bird at one point. And then she turned into a shitload of birds.
She did turn into a shitload of birds. Yeah.
I think I grabbed your arm and went, she turned into a shitload of birds, Becky.
Yeah, you did do that, yeah. I think she can either turn into one big bird or many small birds.
And when she was a big bird, she gave fucking Jason Scott Lee right shitty look at one point.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That bird was fucking
Sassy.
yeah.
Salty.
It was earning its stag that day.
But yeah, do you know, I liked it. It's a Disney movie. It's never gonna.
Yeah, I think you're spot on right there. I didn't hate it. The problem is, I think Ian, you said it at first, didn't you? That it's both interesting and really dull at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense that when it's good and it's on form, it's a lot of fun. And like you said, the getting her made up bit, and then her walking out and joking with her sister and stuff like that. And there's a lot of visual. There's not a lot of. They're not talking. There's a lot of visual sort of facial acting. It was really interesting. I was thinking, all right, this is cool. And then as the action thing, I'm thinking, right, they're doing some cool shit with the acting thing. But then it's almost like somebody, a Disney producer's been there going, oh, can we just rein it in a little bit though?
But that's
just rein
the
it in a
problem.
little
I
bit.
think it looks like a movie for grown-ups, so it's very easy to forget it's a live-action adaptation of a kids' movie.
But this is a kids' movie. That's my thing. This is a movie that people think is and what Disney are pitching it as is, this is a movie where we're putting a female hero at the centre. It's for female empowerment. It's to give young girls a hero, and I fucking hope it does. Right? However, all right, Disney, is that what you're doing? Yeah, that's what we're doing. It's like, no, you're not. You're trying to make money out of the Chinese market. Don't fucking lie.
What little girl is going to be inspired by this Mulan?
Exactly. That's my point. It's not Disney. You're trying to exploit the Chinese market. That's all you're doing, and it's the worst type of Disney fucking double play that they can do, because this. Right, I found it. I was all right watching it. I found bits of it funny.
There's some really nice images.
There's some nice shots in it. It's a bit boring at places.
Gorgeous fucking film.
Yeah.
Sorry, it really is.
But if I'm a fucking 8-year-old boy, I think I'd be more interested in it if I was an 8 or 9-year-old boy than if I was an 8 or 9-year-old girl. They're just not going to be interested in it. But I do think it's a tad too.
It's a bit too childish for like a martial arts movie about a girl that infiltrates the army and fights for the emperor, and it's a bit too pensive for a children's movie.
Yeah, I don't think it sticks any fucking landing.
Oh, I think that's really hard.
Which it's actually I was really looking forward to.
Yeah.
I wanted a big fucking martial arts epic masquerading as a Disney film. And that's what I thought we were getting. And what we got was a Disney film masquerading as a martial arts epic. That was made by people who wanted to make the other film, but produced by a company who wanted to make money. And this is a movie that the talent behind it are all fantastic. The problem is the movie is being run by the accountants, and that is the fucking problem by it.
Did you say you watched this with Donna and Lottie?
Well, I mean, I watched it with Donna. Lottie, like, if a film is not in a cinema, she's not interested. She'll watch. If she goes to a cinema, she will watch the whole film and she'll enjoy it. At home, no fucking chance. No, I watched it with Donna, and Don was just like, yeah, it was all right. You know, I mean that's the thing. It's like you look at how the film would have done if it actually came out. It would have done fine, and I now understand why Disney Plus did this. Why Disney did this, because it's like, yeah, all right, trial a big in quote marks film which probably won't have a long tail. You don't do it with Black Widow, where that film will be in cinemas for a couple of months. Mulan will be in cinemas for a month and will then be gone. I understand now.
Yeah, I get it. I think it'd be more impactful if they just dropped it on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But I don't think they could have done that, because then they'd have got accused of dumping it, which is what they have. They've dumped it and taken a chance that people might spend 20 quid on it. Or $30. I mean, the weird thing is, if I'd have seen it in a cinema,
you'd have probably liked it more.
I would have been fine seeing this. I would have enjoyed seeing this in a cinema more than I enjoyed seeing it at home. I probably would never watch it again. I probably won't ever watch it again. But I'd have liked seeing the spectacle of it in a cinema, because, like I say, I think the talent behind it is all very good and it's all doing the right thing. The problem is the accountants run the movie.
You see, this is the thing that worries me about the whole kind of like films just like basically being on streaming and whatnot and becoming content, and it's exactly that. You see this in a cinema, that those images on a large screen and that sound on big speakers, that's something. And no, you're not going to repeat watch it, but people being used to watching these films in cinemas with that kind of experience, they will value watching films because they get to see those images on a big screen. If this just comes to Disney Plus, and if future films come to Disney Plus, it will devalue a lot of films. Don't get me wrong, not all films, but it will devalue a lot of films where it's just like, now it's like, yeah, whatever. Like Mulan for me is like a very, very straight 3 out of 5. Honestly, if I saw this film in the cinema, it probably would have been a 3.5, because I'd have had that big experience. The cinema colours these things. So if you're watching this stuff at home, it does devalue it. And over the course of time, that will make people think, well, why am I paying $20 for this? And then it will be, I'm just watching it on a streaming service, and then cinemas will be, studios will be like, why are we paying $200 million for this when they're just on a streaming service? And it kind of goes down and, pardon me, it goes down and down and down from there. I don't know. Mulan is depressing.
Yeah, the reason why certain movies cost a certain amount of money is because certain actors get paid a certain amount of money because it's drawing them into their name being attached to it will help people come in. The Rock, for instance, his movies make a lot of money because people want to go and see the latest Rock movie.
Yeah.
Like Ian says, 3 or 4 streaming things down the line, it's going to be, well, we've already got this. We've already got these people. They're already subscribed. We aren't going to get enough uplift in subscribers to warrant paying you another. What is that?
Yeah.
Because it's just there. So it'll be movies. They'll basically stop spending as much on movies, and it'll be the content it will get. And it won't be in 2 or 3 years. It wouldn't be in 2 or 3 years time. It'd be over a decade.
Yeah.
But it would go. And we'd end up looking at something and going, oh, this is basically just prime TV stuff. And it will be that. Oh, I want to make this movie, it's going to be epic. It's like, all right, could we just do it as a series, like 4 parts? Well, no, I want to make it as a movie. We'll put it as 4 parts, though. Well, no, I want to do it as a movie. Well, tell you what, we won't give you the money unless you do it as a 4-part series. It'll just get like that. I'm glad that the Mulan experiment hasn't worked for them.
Yeah.
Because it means they won't do it with other things.
Makes me sad that it's.
But I don't like the fact that it happened with Mulan.
Yeah.
No, I mean, this is the thing. From a financial point of view, I'm doing a bit of reading up on this. Apparently, the extrapolation is that it looks like it made
about $35 million like opening weekend, plus $5 million in international territories where it actually released. So you're looking at $40 million on a film that was budgeted at $200 million. And now that people have kind of got their premiere access and got that out of the way, are people, at least after the next couple of weekends, going to go, yeah, all right, then I'll pay $20 for that, but I can just wait 2.5 months. The people who paid now are the people who want to see it.
Yeah.
And it's
there's nobody after that weekend. Nobody else is paying 20 quid to see that movie.
No.
Exactly.
That's not making 20 quid in October.
No.
Exactly. So it does look. I mean, like you look at Trolls, that motherfucker made is in the black. And why is that? Because it costs less, and because it was right in the heart of lockdown. So if this, unfortunately, what this probably means is if the way of the world is going the way it is, and cinemas don't open up or cinemas close and whatnot, then things will just get further delayed rather than pushing to PVOD. There is no, I would bet money now on Black Widow, no fucking way coming out on Disney Plus first.
Oh God, no.
No fucking way. No way.
I can't see them doing this again.
No.
The only way it happens is if things get so bad that it's like, right, we don't think cinemas close and they're not going to be open to 6 months to a year, and then that impacts the other Disney Plus Marvel shows.
Yeah, and then I can see them going, look, here's Black Widow, give us a tenner.
Yeah, it's here's Black Widow because we need to give you Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision because it plays into Black Widow, because we need to have content coming out to give people get people subscribing to Disney Plus. That's it. But for me, like if they're going to do localized lockdowns and if things are going to be fluid in the US, they release these things, they'll have a lot longer tail in this. Ironically, they'll have a lot longer tail in the cinemas, and then they'll come straight to Disney Plus. There won't be necessarily a buy it. There may be this also. You can buy it on iTunes or you can stream it on Disney Plus. Not you buy it on iTunes or 2 months later you stream it on Disney Plus. It's one or t'other. So you've got your cinema release, so they can say it's out. They make their money there. 2 months later, it's on Disney Plus, and they can keep their TV shows flowing as well. It's a fucking mess. But this experiment didn't work, and I feel sorry for the Asian community who wanted to see this on a big screen and see themselves represented. The Marvel film that's coming up.
Shang-Chi.
Yes, Shang-Chi. I'm ever so sorry. I've had a bit to drink, as you can probably tell by now. That film will hopefully come out in cinemas, have a huge splash, and will give what people were wanting. It hasn't worked. It's not going to be a moneymaker for Disney, but for the future of the theatrical experience, that's a good thing, unfortunately.
Yeah. It is, and I agree with you. It's not the movie. I feel sorry for the movie, but I don't feel sorry for Disney.
Yeah.
Our audience books. I'm definitely not shit on it.
Yeah, same.
It's definitely not shit.
Mild, definitely not shit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a mild one, but it is definitely not shit. I couldn't say it was touching cloth or even shit.
Sure.
Our audience poll, definitely not shit, 33%. Touching cloth, 50%, and shit, 17%.
There you go.
We do have a couple of questions. So let me just find them, because that would help if I can read them out. So, Rick Kidd at Rick J. Kidd. After Colin Farrell in the Batman trailer and watching Charlize Theron in Monsters recently, what other roles have made you go, oh shit, I didn't recognise them? Well, Jason Scott Lee in Mulan for me.
The guy in Coming to America for me.
What was that one we watched the other day? Oh, Not Evan Rachel Wood. Aaron.
Taylor Johnson.
Yes.
In Tenet, yeah, you didn't recognise him in that, did you? No. I'm trying to think. There's one out there where I've gone, holy fuck, that's. Ah, shit. No, I can't think. But yeah, the Jason Scott Lee one blew my mind. Just then.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Mark Dacascos in John Wick 3 as well.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I was literally, I was like, where the fuck do I know this guy from? And then it about half, I was like, oh wait a fucking minute, because he's not, he's a 90s genre martial arts star.
Yeah.
You know, I watched a lot of his movies, so to see him in a big fucking, big fucking budget, proper R-rated action blockbuster was like, this is fucking cool, and he's clearly enjoying the shit out of it as well. So wonderful.
There's loads for me. There's so many times when we're watching films and stuff, you're like, what are you doing on your phone? Nothing. I'm checking on IMDb to see where I know that guy from.
And I wait until just before the page loads and go, it's blank.
Yeah, I hate it when you do that.
Yeah, you do hate when I do that. I am a prick.
Yeah.
John McGrath throws 4 questions at us at once. Number 1, favourite Japanese film?
Rashomon.
2. Huh?
Rashomon or Akiru. I know it's Kurosawa, but, hey.
Becky, what's yours?
I think Howl's Moving Castle.
Is it? Mine's 7 Samurai.
I watched Akiru for the first time because I accidentally ordered it instead of Akira for the blockbuster I worked for. And like we got the delivery. It was like, what the fuck's this? It was the BFI DVD of Akiru. It said Akira Kurosawa. I was like, shit. All right, well I'm taking this straight away. And yeah, Akiru is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
We
Anyway.
went on a big Kurosawa kick, didn't we, when you got your box set thing?
When I got the full box set of all the Kurosawa movies, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's a fantastic, it's just 30 odd fucking films of just wonder.
Dude, High and Low is like, it's not a Kurosawa film that gets talked about much, but that fucking film, holy shit,
mate. One of the highlights, obviously the highlights from that box set were things like Seven Samurai and Rashomon and
Hidden Fortress.
Hidden Fortress, that's the fucking one.
Yeah, Jimbo.
One of the ones that stuck with me most, though, out of the ones that I hadn't seen, was one called The Lower Depths.
Okay, yeah.
Lower Depths. Let me just find a quick synopsis for it so I can, jog your memory. So we basically, when we got the actual box set, we kind of we put out a thing, didn't we, to ask people to choose a number between X and what is it, to choose which ones we watched, and one of the third or fourth one was this film called The Lower Depths, and the plot is it's set in like the lowest part of the city, where it is literally next to the fucking sewers where people live. And so when it rains, everything gets fucking Parasite-esque. Everything gets run down to there. But it's set in, like, I think around the time of the war. And it's just these people just having their general days. And so, like, when one of them's making all the food for everybody around this, what is it? They have like a little dance party about it, don't they? And it's a really lovely film, but set in this really horrible place.
Yeah.
It's only, I think, but the thing is, Blink and Sound movie, it's like 2 hours long as well. It's fantastic. But yeah, anything Kurosawa basically. Number 2, favourite smell. Petrol. Wow.
I love the smell of petrol.
The fuck is that? Petrol.
So solvent abuse, Becky. That's your favourite. Your favourite smell is solvent abuse.
Yeah,
mate, your nose is wrong.
Ian, what's yours?
Like a fucking brilliant roast dinner.
That is good. Oh, fresh bedding.
Freshly brewed coffee.
Oh shit, fresh bedding's a good one, mind.
Freshly brewed coffee.
Yeah,
Honestly,
too.
I still to this day cannot fucking stand why nobody does a proper coffee scented candle. It's bullshit.
Bullshit.
It's fucking bullshit. I bought 3 or 4 coffee scented candles, and all of them are a latte scent, so it doesn't smell like coffee.
Oh, chocolate. They're all chocolate.
Oh yeah, there's a fucking mocha one. Fuck off. Just give me a coffee scented one.
So not the mocha.
I am gonna mocha mocha. It's bullshit. Mocha is just for people who haven't fucking quite grown up yet.
They're getting there though. They've moved on from hot chocolate.
Anyone over the age of 8 that drinks a fucking hot chocolate can get to fuck. Number 3, expectations of the upcoming Premier League season.
Shit. Well, all right. We need to do we need to do another fine pint of Klopperberg, don't we? At some point.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. So we will do that actually. We might do it after the first, because I think we did after like the first 2 games last season.
No, I think we did it pre-season, son.
I think there'd been at least 1 game.
Really? All right.
Yeah. So we will do that within the next couple of weeks, but we'll get Jordan on for that, and we'll do that as one of the Pod Syndicate bonus shows.
As a United fan, I'm sorry. I'm ever so sorry, but I'm going to do this.
Go on.
Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, United.
Do you think Man City will win it? Liverpool second, Chelsea, and then United fourth?
Yeah, I think Liverpool. It was such an intense season last season that
2 seasons back to back, mate. Think about it. We did 97 points, then 99 points.
No, don't get me wrong. Like,
I'm saying the intensity of that isn't just 1 season; it's 2 seasons back to back. So then, if you look at what happened with Man City, they did 100 points, and then they did 98, and then they just burnt out for last season.
I mean, I don't have a particular horse in either of those races, and I'm saying, I'm saying my guys, we'll get into the Champions League, but that's probably about it. Hey, maybe an FA Cup. But it's I don't know. I just Guardiola, I think, is going to want to go out strong. It's his last season. It is his fucking last season. And he's going to want to go out strong, and I think he's going to do it. My only thing would be whether he's just like in the latter stages of the season, I need to concentrate on Europe. I think the first half of the season, he's going to be he's going to be like, let's just try and keep pace with Liverpool and blah, blah. The second half, I think he'll go, if we're within a point or 2 of Liverpool, but I need to rest some people for the Champions League, and I could see maybe Liverpool doing something then. But then Chelsea as well, frankly. You get rid of Lampard in the first 3 months of the season, get somebody else in. Who the fuck knows what will happen?
Well, what I'll say here is it's a season unlike any other, in the sense that literally the top clubs have from when they come back from the first international break after the season started. So I think that's the second week in October. Literally from then until the first week in February, I believe. It isn't at might. It is they are playing a game every 3 days.
Yeah.
They are. There's no room for what is it. It is going to be an insane amount of football. I think I worked out. It's 35 games, and that's not depending on whether or not they get through anything or anything like that. That is 35 games they will be playing. 35 games in 93 days.
That's fucking mental.
It's a game every 3 days. It is absolutely. There's going to come a point where there's going to be a pinch point. At the moment, they're already looking at it going, right, there's possibilities that we might have to move some of these games to later in the season because if certain clubs get through in the League Cup, it clashes with that. Now, Liverpool quite rightly are going, hang on a fucking minute. Well, let's rewind back a little bit there. We had to play 2 games within 24 hours of each other in different parts of the world. Yeah. I think it's going to be really interesting. It's you aren't going to be able to rest players. It's as simple as that. It isn't who's got the biggest squad or anything like that. It is who can manage it. The idea that if a team, Man City and Liverpool have run at a ridiculous rate over the past 3 years between them. The 95-plus point seasons were unheard of, and Man City delivered back-to-back, and then Liverpool delivered back-to-back ones of that. It's unheard of. The idea that my club, for instance, Liverpool, could go at that same rate it'd be unreal. If a team gets 95 points this season, they are going to win the league. I would be gobsmacked if a team gets 95 points this season. You've also got to counter in the fact that fans aren't going to be there until, at the very earliest now, it would appear, January. Yeah. And I still think that's mildly fanciful. That helps some teams more than it helps and hinders some teams. I think it hinders Liverpool, for instance. I think, for instance, it helps this Man United. Would it have helped Fergie's Man United? No, it wouldn't. But it helps this Man United because they can play with a little bit more freedom. They can play with a little more freedom. They're not gonna. They can be 0-0 at 70 minutes, and are not getting that nervousness coming from the crowd. Yeah. So it's interesting in that what is it? But it does take away the adrenaline of a team like Sheffield United. Dropped off a cliff post lockdown. Yeah. Because that adrenaline that their fans gave them and that atmosphere, it won. It's going to be a fucking weird season. I couldn't call it, but I do think that when you take away a bunch of atmosphere and a bunch of emotion from it, you boil it down to its most basic component parts. And so I do think that the top 4 will be comprised of a mixture of Liverpool, Man City. I think will be top 1 and top 2 in an order. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with movement there. Then I do think it'll be United, Chelsea, Arsenal and Tottenham will make up the other 2 spots. But I wouldn't want to say who is. But I do think one of them will be Manchester United.
Which I think is totally fair.
Chelsea, it's all very well and good. It's all very well and good going out and buying Timo Werner, who's a fantastic player. If he can exploit his key component, which is pace, and he needs space to run into. If you play the low block against Chelsea, then he becomes a blunt instrument. Yeah. And Chelsea didn't have a problem with scoring goals last season. They conceded 58 goals last season, and they haven't improved. Their idea of improving the defence is signing Malag Sarr, who was available on a free and nobody else tried to buy. I wonder why. And a 36-year-old Thiago Silva who can't turn around anymore.
I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. It's why I was saying, like, if Lampard were to be, they have a bad first couple of months, Lampard's ejected, they get AN big name in. Let's see what happens there. I'm not saying 1 or 2, but I don't know. I think Chelsea are really, really fucking strong this season, which is very annoying. But Arsenal, I don't think are going to be that strong this season, which is very pleasing. So, we'll see what happens. I'll
be fascinated to talk to. We are going to talk more about this because I could talk about this for hours, and we need to get to another question that Jordan's asked us. But yeah, any listeners who are football fans for that, there will be a bonus show that will go out on the Pod Syndicate feeds. We are a Pod Syndicate podcast. Other Pod Syndicate podcasts include Chin Checker, Punter, His Film, Her Movie, which is John's podcast, the Iron Sequel, which has just joined us, Entertainment Landfill, Adventures in VHS, What's on Tap. So yeah, head on over to their bonus shows, including me and Noel have just released another Tales from the Tape Deck, where we chat the career of Ice-T, and it's a lot of fun. There's another episode of that coming out soon. We're doing a Playing It Forward this weekend, so we've got some great movies to chat on that as well.
Fuck, we are. Oh God, yeah. Okay, yes. Have I bought you Greta yet? Because I need to do that. No. Okay.
So, our last Jordan question. Last time someone looked at you with disgust.
My wife during sex.
My husband, when I told him I liked her, I'm thinking of ending things.
Pretty much a lot with me.
Aww.
I'm an abrasive person.
Who looks at you with disgust? The cat looks at you with
The
disgust.
cats look at me with disgust quite a lot. Our child.
Yeah, she does, yeah.
Yeah. You, sometimes.
I don't. I worship the ground you walk.
The mirror. The mirror when I look at it and go, I fucking hate you.
That's
good cause.
The new temps started this week when I said, hi, I'm Ian, I'm a manager in this department. for 2 more weeks, and then I'm not going to be a manager anymore. I'm going to fucking be a technical person, and I don't need to manage anyone again, and it's going to be fucking amazing, and I fucking can't wait. Oh, shit.
Wait. What are we doing next week, then?
The Babysitter Killer Queen.
Whoop, whoop.
Very much up for that.
Yeah.
Very much up for that. That's going to be a fun fucking show. Yeah. Thank you very much for listening, guys. I had a lot of fun recording this. We've banged out nearly 3 hours.
Indeed, we have.
I really hope people enjoyed this. I enjoyed doing it. Thank you very much, Rebecca.
You are very welcome. Thank you for listening, everyone.
And thank you very much, Ian.
Let's see how my state of mind is next week. It's going to be a fascinating journey, and thank you all for coming on it. Bless you. Mwah.
Goodbye, people. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.